TheCulinaryCast. I'm your host, Kobe Jordan. Today I'm with a very special guest, my first boss, Mr. Yianni Kakouras.
And best boss.
And best boss, yeah, that too. No offense to a few other people, but...
No offense to any of the other bosses or future bosses. I hold that title. I'm going to keep it forever, and I'm willing to fight for it. So,
yeah, if y'all want to fight him, he's ready. He's here. Yeah. So, Yianni Kakouras, famed business owner / realtors or real estate. What do you do with
just
real estate?
All kinds of stuff. Whatever. Whether it's rental homes or investment properties or anything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Adding dealer to the list for vehicles, along with the fitness, along with the flex fitness gym and all that stuff. Just an entrepreneur, just trying to make it in America like everybody else. That's all.
Yep. Well, you're doing a good job.
Try to. This year wasn't, or 2020 was.
Yeah.
It was a little eye opener. It was a little different.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I think it's something we all experienced and something that we can all look back on eventually and be like, yo, you remember 2020 and remember
For sure.
how stupid that was.
Well, for those of us who, hopefully we'll never have to go through it again, but definitely, what doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Yeah.
And then like for you, where you're at in your life and what you want to accomplish, you have an idea of like this could potentially happen again. Mm-hmm. So if I decide to open a restaurant, or how you can structure it in case something like this ever does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you got to make yourself you got to protect yourself as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So like buffet restaurants,
They're
gone. And they're going to be like dinosaurs. Like they're going to one day dig up like a corner lot somewhere, and then like the Golden Corral sign's going to pop up. It's going to be like a fossil.
It's going to be like something they hang in like bars one day or
right.
like antique shops or something.
Right.
And,
it sucks that this is what it did to that business, but it's one of those things you got to structure yourself now into knowing that if this happens, can I hold it with a to-go menu, or
mm-hmm.
How do I make the adjustments I need to make to keep it moving?
Yeah, and I was talking to Julie about that a few weeks ago. A lot of people who are like professional chefs and stuff like that, they don't really focus on the to-go side of business and really quick, convenient.
Right.
Whereas, and it's hard to...
Well, it's supposed to be an experience when you're, this is your place. You're setting a certain standard.
Mm-hmm.
You doing things to make a different experience. We can go walk into a million restaurants every year,
mm-hmm.
but it's that experience that's going to captivate you. It's the food, the chef. They don't focus on, oh, this is delicious, let me stuff it in a box and send it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's not what they not what they do.
And it's you can set the lights in your restaurant, music, make hang cool stuff on walls.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You make whatever
set
atmosphere
scenery
you want.
Yeah,
whatever.
and it can enhance the experience. But I think it's kind of a challenge, especially this past year, of trying to funnel all that into the environment that we were presented with, and it's, a struggle. And I think, a lot of businesses close down.
And will not reopen.
Yeah.
It's one thing for a business to close down, and it's another thing for a business to close down and never reopen.
Yeah,
that's the fight. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you said convenience, and just look. America has kind of become convenience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's not many. Me being Greek and having traveled to many different countries, the convenience thing isn't as present in other places in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here it's just convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Price point, quick, convenient, goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we've really lost touch with being okay to not be convenient.
Yeah.
Your sister just texted. trying to get some coffee. Sorry. I'm about to get off now. Ooh. You think she'll... Oh, look. Before I even typed it.
Would you like
me to ring you a cappuccino, dearest Yianni? Please, madame. For some reason, me and your sister have been speaking like we're from England or somewhere for some reason. And it's hysterical. And her accent is fire. Just, I don't know how to spell madame. But, M-A-D-E-M or A-M something. I think it's A-M. There was like 3 different versions as far as autocorrect. I always just choose the one in the middle, even if it's not what I'm trying to say, because it will make a conversation comical, and it will make no sense at all. Whatever.
I'm in like a small business management class right now in school, and I'll have to like write papers out, or not really write papers, but like write down stuff, and I always can never remember how to spell like business. So all the time I have to like go like Google it. It's like
simple
business.
I'll give you a trick, right? Real quick. Busy. Spell busy.
B-U-S-Y.
Done. Drop the Y. Add an I. Ness. Spell Ness.
N-E-S-S.
Never have to Google it again.
It's just, I don't know. And like, I know how to spell entrepreneur because I'm also in the entrepreneurship class, and I learned how to spell. It's like entrepreneur.
All right. Spell business stuff now like that I just told you to think.
B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S.
That's it.
You changed my life.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make better. That's growing.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I can't spell Wednesday. Like I have to always say like Wednesday.
That's true.
To spell it,
Wednesday, yeah. That's I don't like it either.
I don't know how to spell a lot of things. I'll be like writing something out, and I gotta.
It's like repetition.
How to spell
The more you use it, the better off it gets. But then, like you start abbreviating as you get older, you'll start to find out, especially in the restaurant business.
Mm-hmm.
And then the word that you did know how to spell, well, one day you'll just go, "I can't believe I don't know how to spell this word right now." It happens. It's just life. Mm-hmm. And for anybody who's listening and and hears this and choose to contradict, they're liars. They're liars. I'll tell you that right now. Mm-hmm. Everybody in their life.
You hear that, everybody?
Yes. Don't lie about having brain farts and spelling, because we all know that you have. Period.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before? It's a convenience.
Yeah.
I mean, so like for you, let me ask you some questions. Flipping, reversing the roles here. What if you were today to open a restaurant outside of what you've seen in 2020 with COVID and all this and whatever?
Just straight up.
No
corona, no nothing. Just
what style restaurant would you want to have? What would you want to open? A pizzeria, a sub place, a fast food place, or would you like to do like in Charlotte and cities like there's these places called tapas restaurants where it's more like just a bunch of appetizers. Or would you want to open up a steakhouse or an intimate setting place? What would be your choice if you had it right now? Economy's booming. You fresh out of culinary school. What point do you have to prove? What do you want people to know you for?
I really don't know. And I think that's why I'm really liking going through culinary school, and really like, because I've had a few jobs at this point and experiencing a bunch of different aspects and corners of the industry, and learning how this culture cooks this food and these people do this food, and like it's been amazing because me personally, I don't really have a favorite like food to cook now.
Okay. Do you have a favorite food to eat?
Probably wings.
Wings.
I just love wings.
Have you put your own spin on wings?
Not yet.
Thus far. Not yet?
Not yet. I need to at some
Shocking.
point. But I don't know. Like I don't really have a specific way of cooking right now that I do.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's a few things I'll make every now and then, but there's not really a certain style that I've adapted to, and
right.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to learn, and eventually as I, because I'm still new in the industry,
Sure.
I started working at your place
Mm-hmm.
like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
Which,
so
for the record, you learned more so like front of the house there. That
Yeah.
was kind of before you had an interest. 'Cause I remember we used to talk, and you would be kind of all over the place about
Yeah.
what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I think that you choosing culinary, you really took more of an interest in it and ran with it way further than I thought you would.
Yeah.
Just based off of the conversations we used to have, where it was like 1 week it's going to be this, and then, oh, I want to be a comedian. No, I want to be a clown. Or no, I want to be.
I never said I wanted to be a clown.
I'm just making up stuff.
The comedian thing, maybe, but I'm not that
But
funny.
you know what I mean? Like, you've actually been dedicated to doing culinary now for more than a year.
I think I decided that, I said, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm planning on, it was like November 2019.
Okay, so a little
So,
over, yeah.
and I decided, like, I was already going to Sandhills and just taking like general ed stuff, and I kind of, what got me into it? I remember I saw something about their culinary program, and I researched it, and it looked really like a cool thing to do, and I didn't really, up to that point, I didn't really think about the restaurant industry and food and stuff like that as being my career, and
Right.
I've always loved food, it's pretty obvious just looking at me, but I never really considered it, and then when I first decided to do it, I was talking to Julie about this, I didn't really think that much of it, if that makes any sense. Like, I didn't think, I don't know, like, I was kind of closed-minded in a way. Not really like I wanted to be, but, I didn't really,
Right.
I haven't really, at that point, I didn't really know what was out there. You know what I mean? But now that, I'm in
That's a good thing
culinary
about
school
the restaurant
currently.
business.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, you'll, so much. You can't get ripe in this business. The only way you get ripe in this business is if you want to. And if you get ripe, you fall off the tree and roll away from it, And that's where that expression comes in. Up, the apple fell far away from the tree. You don't ever want to get ripe, And that's the truth. And in this business, so many things will come. And,
Yeah.
People and personalities and cuisines, and it just comes. So that's that's a good thing about this business as well. But I think you found a calling for it. I really do. I think that it's going to work well for you, and I think that you have the mind and you have the mental capacity for it, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that, sorry, I'm sending this text message back to your sister so she can't not say thank you, But you have the mental capacity for it. I think you're eager to learn for it, and I think you take it seriously, which is good. I can tell that you're this just driest sponge on the shelf, dying for a downpour. So I think it'll fit you. I really do. I think it'll suit you well.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn in a way, but it just comes, and it's repetitive. And then, then it's like spelling. Then it's like, oh man, I've made this recipe 16,000 times. What am I missing? Or things like that. But I think once you answer that question that I asked you though about like what would you do, what style, or what, because you want it to be a reflection of what you've learned and what you've done with your twist or your whatever. That's why you should definitely start. If wings are your thing, like that's what you love to eat. I don't really know if
wings are,
but just to get creative, because like you love wings, right?
Yeah.
And that if you just start trying to get creative with this and it's awful, you'll know it's awful quickly.
Yeah.
Then you kind of go, well, why was it awful? Or what can I? Plus, it's chicken. Well, right now wings are about to be super expensive because of like Super Bowl and all this.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And they're still blaming COVID for pricing and stuff. But outside of that, normally wings are inexpensive.
Yeah.
And if you mess them up, big deal, if you're trying to be creative. So
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, like trying to find stuff to just get creative to help you answer the question I asked you. Because if you're still in this 5 years from now, and I ask you the question and you're still
Yeah.
trying to, you still go, oh, then you're,
Yeah.
you gotta have a goal.
Yeah, and I'm working towards that. I don't really have a set way of doing things right now, or a set type of food that I'm not really doing or really focused on. You know what I mean? I'm just right now. I'm new. And I'm just seeing what's out there before I decide. What I'm going to personally do. Because
Sure.
I mean, right now, I worked. As far as cooking, I worked at Westmore, which is, seafood and steaks and stuff like that, and then I went to Rudino's Pizza and, kind of learn, I worked at, Carolina Fried Chicken and, learned, but really like learning,
Cuisine,
like making
right.
pizza and, we did like calzones and stuff like that, I experienced that. And now I'm at a place and we're doing a lot of like homemade meats and stuff like that. And, I'm learning a lot more, or not more, but I'm learning a lot of stuff there too. And
Sure.
I don't plan there to be there forever. I'm probably going to be there for.
You'd be there for however long you see that fit. Just if you feel like you've maxed your capacity at something. Then you're kind of.
And and I'll go someplace else. And I'll learn.
True. Some
new way of cooking and some different food, and
you
it's
might come across a certain style restaurant that you just absolutely fall in love with, and you go, sometimes it just kind of hits you.
Yeah.
Like for me now, with the whole, like, I know what I'm really good at fiscally, meaning like, I know what style restaurant to set up to make the most amount of profit possible, right? But that's not necessarily what makes me love what I do, right?
Yeah.
So it's, you kind of got to teeter back and forth with certain things and go with it. But I don't know if there could be a blend with what I really like to cook and do, and then make it just as fiscally acceptable as what I know I can do.
Yeah.
You got to fight that a little bit too, but. It's just so much that goes into play with all that. But you keep learning. If you feel like you've hit a plateau into something, and you're like, man, I feel like you've tapped out as far as like I'm not learning much more. Not many people, this is the great thing about you. Not many people, especially at your age, go out and get a job in a profession that they want to do. And really care about learning from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Most people come in, how much am I going to make? Let me see how much I can make, per hour.
Yeah, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do in my career later on.
Do my job, make sure I'm decent at it, and then, whatever. Do my hardest, to try my hardest not to be late. But you go into it and you're looking at it like, okay, it's not like you're chasing dollars.
Yeah.
You go into it because you want to learn something new, and that's worth way more than any hourly scale.
Yeah, and I was talking to Julie about this, and I'm going to be, by the time I graduate culinary school with a degree in culinary arts and then like a certificate of restaurant management or something like that, I'm going to be 19. A lot of people, like, if you're going to basically if you just go to like the culinary program at Sand Hills just out of college, you're going to be like 20. And that's just...
Have you thought about what comes at 19 if you try this? You're going to be like... Good thing about you is you have me. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. We can...
Yeah.
But not many people are going to want to give you a chance because of just your age. They're going to be like, well, this kid doesn't know anything. But little do they know, you've conquered quite a decent bit.
Yeah.
In this restaurant at a young age. It was just like me when I started,
Yeah.
I'm a 17, 18-year-old kid, and here I am. How in the world do I gain respect from these people?
Yeah, and since I started out with such a head start, by the time I'm at the age where people start, I'd say maybe like late 20s, mid to late 20s, people start really becoming sous chefs and head chefs and stuff like that in this business. And really, like, by that point, if you've been in this business since you've been an adult, it's just kind of like, yeah, they pretty much, they know what's going on. You know, they know the business. They've been in it for like 10 years at that point,
Sure,
you know.
yeah.
But by the time I get to where I'm in my late 20s or whatever, you know, I'm going to be, you know, not trying to be prideful or anything like that. But, you know, I feel like I'll just have that much like more experience in this
Absolutely.
field by
Absolutely.
starting so young. And I don't think a lot of 17-year-olds
There's
know
not
their
many
career. And
22, 23-year-olds who are still just have
Yeah.
no clue what they want to do.
yeah, and you know, people will say, "Oh, well, I want to be this when I grow up." Well, how many 17-year-olds do you know who are actually? And again, like, I'm not trying to be prideful, you know. That's not what I'm trying to be at all.
having
But you know,
having a game plan and a vision, and then
Yeah.
that's one thing. But having a game plan, a vision, and then executing it.
yeah. I mean, I have.
That you're not. It's not prideful. You're
Yeah.
determined.
I'm 17. Well, I turn 18 in like next week or anyways. But you know, I'm 17. I know what my career is, and I've also am working towards that career. I mean, I've been in culinary school a year at this point. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just feel like I'm not even an adult yet. You know,
It's true.
but I mean, I don't know exactly the exact steps I'm going to take once I graduate. I'm not like, you know, well, as soon as I get out, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to move to do this, and then I'm going to, you know, I don't have a game plan when it comes to like specifics and stuff like that. But as far as like, you know, this is my career. This is what I'm going to do. Eventually, one day, I'd like to have my own place and, you know, stuff like that. But, you know,
You just got to put the mileage on. You know,
Yeah.
once you put the mileage on, once you know that you've dealt with so many individuals, you start seeing, as far as like, we can touch on employees a little bit, I guess, because, you know, different generations bring different qualities of employees.
yeah,
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but, you know, 2 decades ago, even a decade ago, everybody knew the difference between a mop and a broom. This generation, sometimes there's not.
yeah,
I'm not saying it's frequent, but it's present.
yeah,
So once you know, going through and understanding, you know, different character traits of individuals, you know, just when you own a place, you got to be sharp on all of it. That's when
Yeah.
you never stop learning. So like you'll understand the difference between and like this isn't, I'm not saying this for everybody. I'm not trying to stereotype, but a 40-year-old employee laying out of work will be different than a 18-year-old employee laying out of work. I'm not saying it doesn't happen on both ends of the spectrum. It does.
yeah,
But the reason, let's say a 40-year-old employee lays out of work, it's normally something that's pretty serious. Because at that point in life, they put miles on.
yeah,
You know, they're tough. You know, I can't because my child is sick and I have to do, you know, A through Z just to accomplish this day. I'm very sorry, as opposed to I have a headache. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
But once you start picking up on character traits like that, and once you start understanding, you know, it's just the waves of the ocean, you know? If me and you go try to jump, have you ever surfed before?
no.
All right, good. Neither have I.
I've boogie boarded before. One time, I'm gonna tell this real quick story. One time, I was probably 10, and my dad bought me this really cool boogie board. It wasn't like this big thing, but it had like a solid bottom, and it was like really cool. And he used to take me when we go to the beach every year. He used to take me out, kind of into the ocean, and then
Let you get a good one.
yeah, I got a good one time. And as I was going, I can't really steer, or at least I don't know how. You know, I'm like 10 at this point, or 11, 12, something like that. And this old man, I think he was like underwater or something. He like pops out of water, and he's just like looking towards the shore. And I'm running like, I don't know how
You're
fast I
moving.
was going, but I was moving. And I hit the back of his neck. I don't think he was that old, but he was all right. You know, he got back up, and I apologized to him, and
You took his head off.
I almost did. I was freaking out. I was riding toward him, just holding on to this boogie board.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. Well, at least my
At that point,
10-year-old mind didn't think to
Right.
bail or steer or anything like that.
No,
I was
at that point, you're just part of it. You're part of the ocean. You're
Yeah,
part of
it's-
the wave.
what did I do?
That's to the gentleman out there. If you know who Colby is, he apologizes.
Yeah, I'm
greatly.
sorry.
We hope that you haven't developed any types of arthritis or anything in your neck.
What if he's dead now?
Hey, man.
Like, what if
Hey, man, I don't know how old
What
was
if
he?
I like messed up his neck to where he didn't know it, but then like he went to the doctor's office one day and they're like, "Bro, you got like a messed up neck."
I don't know. I think that oh Lord, poor guy. If you're out there, man, Colby is apologetic. He's
I am.
he's sorry that he did you that. He was 10. He got consumed by the ocean, and
I was one with my boogie board,
there's
and
nothing he could do. There's nothing he could do.
I was out of control at that point. I was at the mercy of the water. Anyways,
What are you talking about? Oh, we never surfed before.
yeah,
And the reason being is, if we both go out there today and try to learn how to surf, we're gonna have a terrible. It's gonna be difficult.
mm-hmm.
Might be easier for you. Might be easier for me. I'm not sure, but it's not gonna happen on the first go, right?
yeah,
It takes knowledge, understanding waves, and balance and all that. And then once you do, you get better at it. You start understanding the ocean and how powerful it really. Same thing. And once you put some mileage on, start understanding the motion. That's when a lot of things start to fall in place and things of that nature. But that's going to be your. You know me. I'm going to check on you all the time.
yeah.
I'm going to see you weekly, and as time goes by, I'll ask you that question again,
Yeah,
and you'll find it.
yeah.
It'll,
Eventually, nothing's really, at least at this point in my life, nothing's really slapped me in the face of like.
well, sure.
Yeah,
You gotta try some other.
I mean, who
things.
knows? Maybe one day I will.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
it'll
something
happen.
eventually, like, everyone usually has, like, their own, at least, style of cooking.
Sure.
Like, some people do, like, the Asian thing, and some people do pizza, and some people, you know what I mean?
Some
And,
people put them both together.
yeah,
You know,
that'd be a thing.
sesame,
The old
sesame chicken pizza.
Chef Wolfgang Puck, the old salmon pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could be a thing. Not salmon pizza, but fusion cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even say that word. Cuisine.
cuisine.
And fusion cuisine, that could be a thing I'd venture into one day. But and everyone has their own thing that they're good at and thing that they love to eat and they love to cook, and I haven't exactly found it yet, but
You will
I'm working
really quickly. When does the butt need to come out of the oven?
Oh, that's
It's got a few hours on it.
it went in for 5 hours,
I mean,
and
yeah.
then I gotta leave it in uncovered for an hour. It's got like an hour and a half left.
Okay.
So
You're not gonna blame a burnt Boston butt on me, so don't. I have proof that I reminded you.
all right. Well, thank you, Yianni.
Yes, not happening on my watch. I don't know. I think you're gonna be great at it, though. I really
Yeah,
do.
I hope so.
And the good thing is that you are so young, so you have
Mhm.
plenty of time. You're at the point where you have minimal expenses in your life.
Yeah.
You've seen how important it is already to be smart about all your actions,
Mhm.
and how expensive things can get. But you also have a long time ahead of you to save money
Yeah.
and be smart, and just do what you're supposed to. You got to do your due diligence before you step up to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've told you all the time, if it's a ladder, where do we start?
Bottom.
Bottom. Don't try to skip a step. If you try to skip a step, you fall.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to start from the bottom all over again.
Mm-hmm.
One at a time, one by one. It's going to happen. It's going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it gets overwhelming. Sometimes it's underwhelming. Sometimes it's just right.
Mm-hmm.
It just,
Yeah. And, in this business, I'm trying my best to be open-minded about
Yes.
everything. Nothing, really, no aspect in this business, at least I'm trying this, no aspect in this business has been closed from my mind as of one day I'm going to be doing this. At least I'm trying my best. You know, I've had bad experience with some things, and there's some foods where I'm just like, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? But I'm trying my best to say, not close any doors when it comes to stuff like that. You know, and who knows? You know, there may be one day where I get an opportunity and a chance to do something like that, and it may be, you know, a really good opportunity. So, you know, I'm just trying to be open-minded, because right now I don't really have that precedent of like, at this time I'm going to be doing my own thing. I'm going to be opening my restaurant at this point, because what if it's a year before that and something like a huge opportunity presents itself? You know what I mean? I'm trying my best to be open to everything,
and it's just no different than a bridge. You burn a bridge, it's a problem.
Yeah,
but you have to be open in this. You have to be. Can I move it this way? All right, yeah, maybe. All right, can you still hear me good? Sorry.
Yeah,
you have to. Don't ever be closed-minded, especially not in this business.
Yeah. And you know, there's many different aspects. There's many different types of restaurants, you know, and not even restaurants. You know, there's like catering businesses and
yes,
you know, different stuff. You know, it's not just one thing. You know, it's not just like, I mean, in other businesses, it's like,
it's not even that it's just not one thing, but like, let's say you have a restaurant and you don't cater, right?
Yeah.
But people love what you're doing. They're like, we would love for you to cater.
Mm-hmm.
If you're closed-minded, you're going to go, nope, this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're open-minded, you're going to go, absolutely, let's make this work. You know, if there's a will, there's a way. You'll make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that's simple concept, but straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works. That's how it goes. I think, I think you got time. That's the good thing about it. Like me, I'm getting old. Not that my time's running out. I mean, God willing, I still have, you know, an ample amount of time ahead of me. But as far as like, and then especially now after everything's going on, like to just restart something or just completely build, you know, because Westmore we did, you know, it was a closed operation. We had to bring that thing from ground zero back up to where it's at now.
Yeah.
And to do what we've done with it through COVID and this pandemic, you know, it's
a lot of hard work, you know.
There's a lot involved. There's a lot of headache involved. There's a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of, you know, we hadn't even touched on, you know, what it can do to you in your personal life.
Yeah.
You know, because you're young, you know, once you become super established or, you know, you got a business and you're going, you know, you're open 6 days a week, but sometimes you still got to be there that seventh day if you're closed.
I've drove by in your car sitting out there at 1 a.m. some Tuesday nights, and you know, y'all are closed on Tuesday. You know,
got to get it done.
Yeah,
I was there today. I had, you know what I mean, and
and
but you know, you find ways. You find your rhythm. You find ways to do it. It does impact your personal life. It can do it negatively. It can do it positively. You know, that all kind of depends on your partner, I guess.
Yeah, and I learned about this a lot in my entrepreneurship class, where it was talking about like the risks in becoming an entrepreneur, because a lot of them, like, you get so focused on your job and stuff like that
it's true.
A lot of times it can be a risk to like your mental health, and it can be, you know,
physical health.
Yeah,
if your mental health is going downhill because that's all your focus, you're depriving yourself of eating to keep your, you know, somewhat of a healthy balance.
Yeah.
You know, and that's very true. When you get into something and like you really get into it, it's tunnel vision, man. You know, you're focused, and you're going to be focused on it until it's done.
Yeah, and it was saying, you know, it's hard to start a family or, you know, maintain a family life when you're there from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m.
That's true.
Some days, you know, it can be hard.
Because the structure of your partner's life or whoever else it may be or anything like that, you know, there might be structured on a Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. their professional career daily ends at 5 p.m. And then there's other people involved in that company they work for, or whatever it may be, that handle other things so they don't have to keep working after 5.
Yeah.
And then it's them but when you're, being an entrepreneur or in a restaurant, it doesn't really work like that. It's not even remotely close.
Yeah. I mean, when stuff goes wrong, it falls on you.
Yeah,
You got,
right.
if you're at a 9 to 5 and, you're just working there and something goes wrong, or some, it's not really, it's just, I'm here to work. I'm here to do my job. I don't really, and this, I'm not trying to call anyone out. I'm not trying to say anything bad about anyone, but
not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur either.
Yeah. And I don't blame people,
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It's some people don't have what it takes. Some people don't, like I said, don't even have an interest. No, I'm good with this. I want to have this type of life outside of my personal life. For me, I look at everything I do for the future. We've had that conversation. Some people say, oh, I live for today because tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow isn't promised. It's very true. But I'm still going to do my due diligence into preparing for a future.
And I have a lot of friends who work 9 to 5s, and they hang out on the weeknights and the weekends, and I'm working, and it can be discouraging sometimes, but they'll hit me up and say, hey Colby, you want to go hang out with this, or you want to come do this with us? And
it's all right.
I go in at 4, I go in at 3.
That's a sacrifice that you're making.
Yeah. And
if you understand this sacrifice, if you get it under your belt now, then you won't have as big of a problem with it later.
I'm trying my best. I mean, I really love this business. I love this industry. I love working, as hard as it sounds to believe. When I worked at Westmore, I would show up an hour early some days just because I get bored of being around the house. It's just, and I'm trying to find, or I have found, but I'm trying to find the joy in. What's the word I'm looking for?
Trying to find joy in your...
Like working really hard. What's that word? There's like something they call it. I forget the word.
Trying to find the joy in just working your little rump off?
Yeah, like, I forget. There's a word for it, but,
The joy comes from accomplishment.
Yeah.
What do you... First off, if you're going to work really hard, you got to know why you're working really hard.
Yeah.
And if you know why you're working really hard and you work really hard, then you accomplish whatever you're working really hard for. And that right there. So my thing is, like, I said this to my uncle the other day, which is, I can recall so many nights to where, like, I couldn't barely focus driving home. I was so tired, but I felt so accomplished because we just shattered a record that night or whatever. And I miss that because that hasn't really, it's come close, but it hasn't really presented itself like it used to because of this pandemic. So I understand what you're saying, but the joy in working really hard is for accomplishment. And now accomplishment can be defined any which way you want it to. As a restaurant owner, it can be, like I said, shattering like a gross sales record. This has been our busiest day to date. Or shattering something that has to do with revenue, with money. Or it can be a sense of accomplishment that I'm 2 people down this week. How, your first initial thought is, how are we going to make it happen?
Yeah.
But then you make it happen. You do whatever it takes. You're in there 2 hours early, 3 hours after a close, whatever. And then at the end of that week, you go, I just did that. You're proving something to yourself.
Yeah.
You're proving to yourself that you can, you can take the heat. Because if you can't take the heat, you got to get out the kitchen.
Yeah. And me and Josiah were talking about this, a guy I interviewed a few weeks ago, and there's this chef named Sean Brock from like Nashville or something. But anyways, he had a restaurant, and the food critic came and they didn't like it, and it tore him out of the frame. So I mean, I'm not recommending this to anyone, but he slept in the kitchen, and he stayed at the restaurant 24 hours, 7 days a week. And that's not healthy, you know what I mean? It almost killed him. He actually had a lot of like stress problems and stuff like that, which he had to go. But at the end of the day, he overcame it, and he made his food better, and the critic really liked it. And he said he felt really accomplished at the end of the day, even though, I mean, you know, spending 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the kitchen sucks. I couldn't even imagine it. Like, it was.
But did he make his food better?
Yeah.
Or did the food critic know that this man was about to kill himself and said he made it better?
I think he made. I mean, he dedicated himself to his craft, and every waking hour he spent perfecting it, and he really. Apparently, it was really good. So, I mean,
I tip my hat to him, because I mean that's the mentality you got to have.
That's some dedication right there.
I'm willing to put anything on the line to make sure that this works and this happens.
He literally lived and breathed to make that restaurant better, to make his food better.
That critics though, you know, you're never gonna make. So you might have a food critic who comes into your restaurant and just absolutely loves it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many elements at play for a critic. So this food critic might walk into my place and absolutely hate it. But clearly, everybody around here loves it.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the cash register.
So I'm not worried.
At the end of the day, you're making
You're
money.
right. It's not just the cash register, but sure, you know, that's a sign.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. And
so why I would never get so hung up on that, because you're never going to make 100% of people happy.
Yeah.
And I mean that because it's just what it is. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any product outside of like being able to produce a child that will make you 100% satisfied. And what I mean by that is like something that gets produced. At some point, I feel like you'll be let down. Brand new car.
You could be let
Check
down
engine
by
light
a child.
Huh? We'd be let down as far as them aggravating the snot out of you, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think you'll ever be so happy, or you know what I'm saying, or like something outside of like business can only do it. I don't think anything. You'll never make anybody happy in anything that has to do with revenue. You buy a brand new car, make you super happy till the check engine light comes on a week later, and you're like, why? And it's some stupid sensor or some recall, or you know. You can go bank on 10 out of 10 that Sunday at McDonald's is going to be just where you want it. But then one of those times it might not. Or it could be you that day. You know, like you're never going to please everybody with that. So I wish critics wouldn't, I don't know. Critics have to put into account of like you said, what does this person really put on the line? This person probably put a bunch on the line. You know, go in there and just because you don't like it. But then again, they have, I don't know. That's why super fine dining for me turns into, I don't know. I think that's above my pay grade. Like, I don't think I'd ever go to that realm.
Mm-hmm. And it's
like, to me, nothing is better than my grandmother's cooking.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. Greek, scratch, fire. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, you're not going to see that in a 5-star restaurant. And that's why I don't, you know, to me, that's the best.
Yeah.
To me, that's as good as it gets for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of where I'm at with that, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, I don't like to know. When I sit down and eat something, I don't know what it is. I don't really know, you know.
Yeah.
Put some crazy words in the stuff, trying to fancy it all up. And then they're selling a fad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to get full when I eat. I don't want a 3-ounce piece of meat.
Well, it could be the best meat in the world.
I'm going to need about 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't, you know, like gluttony, you can overeat. I'm not that type of person. I don't want, I've proven it to myself and I've proven it to others when they would, you know, be foolish and go, I bet you can't eat that steak. And I'm going, you know, it was a 48-ounce steak. I ate every last bit of it. Mm-hmm. And everybody's going, goodness gracious. But that's not, you know, when I sit down, I want to eat to satisfaction, not eat and then still kind of be hungry, or, you know, sometimes it can over be done, you know, or too many you take too many ingredients where you don't know what's hitting your palate. You just kind of,
And, you can't over season something, and then you'll lose the. You can't over season a steak. Then you're not going to taste steak. You're just going to taste seasoning you put
right.
in,
all of that. But
yeah.
as far as the hard work and dedication, that's just in any realm of life. That's what you got to do. If you get the hard work, will always trump talent. You can be as talented as you want to,
but if you don't put in the work, you're never going to get anywhere.
Well, if you don't put in the work to become even more talented at your craft, somebody else will.
Yeah.
Hard work will always trump talent any day of the week. And then when you put them both together, you got a powerhouse. You got something that can't be bought. You got something that's just incredible.
Yeah.
And that's when people really start taking notice. That's when people really start. But today, I got hemmed up at Westmore. I was actually loading a car up to take some cleaning supplies to the gym. And a gentleman stops by. I know him really well. It was great to talk to him. Great to talk to him. But he made, me not being at Carolina Fried Chicken anymore. He goes, Yianni, I went in Sunday night. He goes, I won't go back. I'm done. I tried and tried and tried. I don't want to do bad on anybody, but I can't go back. They've upset me too many times. And he goes, the difference is simple. He goes, you were always there.
Yeah.
We saw what you were doing. We saw how hard you were working. And if there was ever an issue, you made it right. They saw the hard work.
Yeah.
Not that they can differentiate what type of talent I had.
Yeah.
But the hard work alone.
And I popped in there like Friday night, something like that. I mean, Corona's going on, but
right. Well, even
it's kind of empty. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
changes atmosphere, changes lots of things.
And it's just.
But so that's a great point. When you build an atmosphere and wherever you may go, you might have 3 restaurants and all 3 may have 3 different atmospheres. But when you build it and it has a great atmosphere, that's another one of those things that can't be bought.
Yeah.
And is your food going to be 10 out of 10 every time? No. Your job is to do your best to make sure.
Yeah.
Will it fall short? Sometimes sure. And that's when atmosphere and stuff can take over. It's all right, Everybody, we're humans. We're not robots.
Yeah. But, when you dedicate yourself to your craft, it can really make a difference from someone who doesn't.
Absolutely.
And
a lot of negative things can come from what you just said too.
Yeah.
Not like, so when you dedicate, let's take Floyd Mayweather Jr. Do you know who that is?
Never heard of Junior, but
Floyd Mayweather. He was a junior.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I know Floyd Mayweather.
Money Mayweather.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody absolutely despises him.
He never lost, did he?
Never. Best defensive fighter ever. Fighting till he was 40, for crying out loud. But he looked at it completely different than everybody, and people hated him for it. But he was the best at what he did. He dedicated himself to his craft. And you look at it, and in the beginning, everybody loved him, right? Then after that, everybody hated him because they couldn't duplicate what he was doing. It was a hate of jealousy, I guess you could call it. And that might come and happen.
Yeah.
There's going to be people. I think people, jealousy is going to eat you alive in any aspect of your life, so don't ever be jealous. But, coming down to it, if your hard work that you produce is going to be different than the hard work that I produce. Now, we might meet on the same plane every so often, but, my right wrist doesn't work like your right wrist does. So that you understand what I'm saying? But at some point, the hard work that you put in is your hard work. And if you have an entire team that works hard as well with you, not for you, with you, makes a difference.
And I've worked with people. I'm not trying to call anyone out or anything, but I've worked with people who are just there for a paycheck, and it can be really discouraging when you're just around people who don't really care either way, you know.
Right.
And again, you know, I'm not trying to call anyone out, like,
But it'll
like
be-
whatever, like do your own thing. But I mean, you know, but it's just,
What bothers you because you want to be
yeah,
better than that.
Yeah,
And
and-
not that you're better than anybody,
yeah,
but your mentality of it is, you know for a fact that if you go into that type of mentality, then that's the individual that you'll become.
mm-hmm.
You'll become somebody who's working for an establishment just to get paid, do your job, go home. You don't want that. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Don't anybody tell you there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will you have to go through a few jobs until you're able to get to where you need to be? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you know that you don't want that. You want to push further. You want to take pride in what you're doing. You want your hard work to be worth something, not just to you, but to those next to you
Mm-hmm.
and those who are paying you, and so on. You know, you've got that point you want to prove to yourself and everybody else, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's being determined. That's wanting more out
Yeah.
of what you're doing, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants more out of everything. They just don't know how to do it.
Mhm.
I want more gas mileage out of my car. You know,
Mm-hmm.
slow down. That's how you get better gas mileage.
Yeah.
Check your tire pressures more often. Make sure they're accurate, because if not, it can upset. You know what I'm saying? There's so
Yeah.
many different things. Let's be honest. I don't get out and check my temperatures and my air pressure in my tires when I got in it today. You know,
Yeah.
did I smoothly accelerate to every speed? No, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you hold that mentality, you'll be fine. Will it get tested? A lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. It'll get tested all the time.
Yeah, and you know, I've worked for you for like 2 years, and you've seen me at my worst. I really don't doubt that, and I have been. You know, I've had those nights where it's just, I'm not coming back. You know, I'm not coming back. You know, screw this. But and it's, it happens, and I have thought before, maybe this industry isn't for me. Once or twice, when I see, and going back to like the jealousy thing, I've seen people do some amazing stuff, and me sitting there thinking, there's no way ever in my life that I'm ever going to get to that point,
That's just called doubt. You can't have
Yeah,
doubt.
and
You can be doubtful that, it's not going to be sunny today because it's been raining all day, and the forecast says that it's going to rain all day.
yeah,
That's okay to be doubtful about something, whatever, but don't put doubt in yourself.
yeah,
And you know what you're capable of, and you know what you can do. And if you doubt yourself that you can't accomplish something,
mm-hmm.
then you'll never put the hard work behind it to get there, because
Mm-hmm.
you've already kind of axed that idea mentally.
Yeah, and
And that's why you need to stay open-minded, like you talked about
Yeah.
before.
I've said before, there's no way I'm ever going to do that. No way. I
ridiculous.
thought, you know what?
It's foolish to say that, though.
I know, but, I thought maybe this industry is for people better than me, and there's no way I'm going to get to this point. And then, you know what? I say, you know what? How did they get there? Do you
From
think someone
everything you
just
just described.
sat there and is just amazing at cooking just right off the bat? The first thing they cook is going to be amazing. No, it takes hard work and dedication. So I put my head down and I work harder,
That's it.
and that's
The only recipe.
Yeah.
The only one you should even be remotely focused on.
mm-hmm.
Don't skip steps.
Yeah, and it can be discouraging. I've had bad days.
You have. But that also, I understand, too, the mind frame of that. Not all the time, but, you're... With age comes experience, right?
Yeah,
And that, you at that age where you had those emotions, like, okay, I'm not saying that's out of the norm for somebody of your age to feel that way, to be like, or for someone to pick on you, not pick on you like in that, but mess with you while you working and just
Yeah.
kind of get under your skin a little bit or whatever, or someone trying to show a little seniority to you and they know it bothers you, so they pick a little bit harder. But see, that's all a lesson. That's all a lesson. That's all a lesson into how to overcome it, how to become stronger, how to become smarter and wiser, and prove your point through your actions,
Yeah.
And that's something that also comes with repetition. I've told you for years, repetition is the father of learning.
Yeah.
The more you repeat something, the more you do it, the more, that's how you get really good at what you do. Then you can take it and throw a little twist on it.
Yeah.
Or try to improve it, or however it may be. But I think I really do. I really want you. And you got me in your corner. So
Yeah.
5 years down the road, you're like, hey, look, I think I'm going to answer your question. Then you come to me and you go, hey, help me invest. And I go, all right, you know me. Or, okay, let's put some stuff together. Or, hey, I just got this spot. I need some help with equipment. What you got? Help me out.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm going to be like, hey, brother, let's do it, baby. Let's see, let's get this together. Let's see. Put it behind. Will you become addled and aggravated? Sure. I'm addled and aggravated now. I've been wheeling and dealing trying to get this equipment,
Yeah.
the people. And then, it's Monday. I really don't want to, it's a nasty day outside. We're not open. I just kind of want to chill. Not happening. I've had my phone blown up all day.
Yeah, it's rung like 5 times. We've been sitting here.
I want to book this, or can we do, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Are you open today? Why are you not open?
Can you do a food order for me in like 30 minutes?
Right. All those things. I'm going, oh my goodness. I feel like, really quickly, I feel like your sister, I hope she's not waiting for me at the restaurant. Because I tried to text her that I was here at the house and it never delivered.
Did it never deliver? I can text her.
That one delivered. The first one didn't. Is she home? With the dogs that barked?
Probably. And there's a few past podcasts you can hear a dog barking somewhere in the distance.
That's how you know it's live.
Yeah, I don't have the money, at least, to invest in a recording studio with padded walls and whatever. And
it's all good. What was that movie, Hustle and Flow, where they took the 4-cup carryout trays for the cups and taped them to the walls? I got tons of those, bro.
we could.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't want to mess up this room though.
We can like start shaving meat or something and tacking it to the wall, something like that. Might smell a little funky after a few days. It's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I have to replace it every week or something.
Nah. But I'm just proud. I'm proud of you. You have accomplished a lot, and you take pride in what you do.
Yeah.
Then you'll start figuring out, like, depending on where you're at and what style restaurant. There's a place for passion, and then there's a place for production.
Yeah.
So a busy Friday night anywhere. I don't care what type of restaurant. I don't care if it's convenient or 5-star or 2-star or a hole in the wall or just to go, or I don't care. Friday night will turn into production, right? Saturday night will turn into production,
Yeah.
So with that, I think you have to understand where to put your passion and where to put production. Be very passionate about how you're setting something up, or be passionate in your prep, but then getting into production because it's busy, but then putting the passion back into plating.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a little bit of passion everywhere, but at some point you got to put a focus on production as well, because the worst thing in the world is sitting at a table for 2 hours. You've used the bathroom 5 times because you can't have any more water or wine or whatever you're drinking.
Yeah.
You're practically full. If the place serves bread, you've had 9 loaves,
Yeah.
and then 2 hours later, your butt's sore. Your company has changed. You were excited about, your date and now you're just over it. You know, like
Yeah.
it can change a lot of things. So, you know, being passionate but also understanding production, you know what I'm saying? That's an important thing, and being able to produce. Knowing when to calm, you know, like with Westmore, I can kind of control things at the door. As opposed to like a convenience place like Carolina Fried Chicken used to be, right?
Yeah.
Didn't matter how many people showed up.
We still, you know.
We had to take them one by one. Bam.
And we
bam,
had those.
Bam.
Remember when those buses would come in at like 9:30?
Yes.
Yeah.
Take them. Roll with it. Didn't if the phone rang, we still found a way to, you know, phone and milkshakes and call-in orders and pickups and customers who weren't part of these massive groups or buses or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Westmore is a little bit different, you know. Like this past Sunday was a very busy day. It got a little overwhelming because nobody really calls to let me know that like a group's coming. But it happens, and I'm not gonna say no. But I had to put a wait at the door for 15 minutes, and that 15 minutes bought us everything we needed to for lunch, right? That's it. That's what you can do. So if you get into the business and you know your production is slowing down because you're becoming overwhelmed by then you have to find a way to get production back on track.
Yeah, and I'm thankful for working at, you know, Carolina Fried Chicken for almost 2 years, you know, because it taught me speed. It taught me how to focus when the line's out in the parking lot, you know, and
don't get overworked.
Yeah.
Calm down. Just one thing after
and when you get in that busy Friday night or a Sunday morning or whatever, can I help you?
Hello, dear. Is this a cappuccino?
Tea.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Is there any sugar in here?
Just cinnamon.
Poop. Do we have any sugar here?
Have sugar upstairs.
Aw. Can we oh, it smells delicious. Can we take a 5-second break?
Yeah, we can.
I need to use the Portsy coffee. Figured out. Back at it. Coffee break.
Back from the coffee break.
Sorry about that.
My sister did not bring me any coffee,
You don't drink
but
coffee.
I don't like coffee, so it kind of works out well.
I have a cappuccino made with love.
Coffee is actually an industry, or like a part of the restaurant industry.
Coffee is the biggest drug in the world.
It is.
Period. Caffeine, I guess you could say, but that is a yes.
I'm pretty sure it's either caffeine or nicotine that's the most addictive substance.
Caffeine.
But I know,
Hands down, caffeine.
yeah,
Hands down. Caffeine all over the world. Law people. Caffeine. Sodas. Starbucks. Different types of cold half-calf frap, macchiato, Java, whatever.
secret menu Starbucks,
Yeah, all that. Name it. Doesn't matter. Tea. Sweet tea. Unsweet tea.
green tea, black tea, tea.
Tea period. Everything. Caffeine. It is by far the most addictive substance in the world. Biggest drug in the world.
I have a big caffeine, I guess, addiction.
There you
And
go.
I got pneumonia one time. This is before Corona, so hopefully it wasn't Corona, but I had pneumonia one time, and it kind of like tore my stomach up, and I didn't really want to eat or drink anything for a while, or I would just drink like water every now and then. And I kept having these like terrible like headaches, almost like migraines.
Your body.
And I
is
was
kind
like,
of, all right.
I was like, what the crap is going on? Like, you know, I was really like, my head would just constantly hurt, and my mom's just like, you might not have caffeine in your system.
Your
I
body
like,
was having withdrawals.
Okay, and
your body has been so used to being fed so much caffeine that when you just stopped, it was going, hey, wait a minute,
where's my caffeine?
where's my juice?
Yeah, and I cracked open a Mountain Dew, and like literally a few sips in, it went away, and so I really
You
don't
can
want to
wean
stop
your-
drinking
you
soda
can wean
right
yourself
now.
off of it,
Yeah,
or you can just kind of just deal with the headaches for like a week, and then things will go back kind of normal. Your body will adjust to that, you know.
yeah.
But I was bad with Dr. Pepper. That was my thing. I was drinking 3 liters like weekly.
3 weekly.
3 liters weekly. Yeah.
I probably
which
do
for
that
me was a
now.
lot. But then there was cans and stuff. I don't know. There was a lot of Dr Pepper. It started making me have my signs of acne, and didn't really. But it was just a lot of Dr Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
If we go out to eat, Dr Pepper, 5, 6 refill, whatever, just Dr Pepper,
Mm-hmm.
and then just cut it out. I went straight, did water for a long time before I started drinking coffee. And I started drinking coffee, and it's just kind of.
I had my big Monster Energy phase like a few years ago when I was
Never
like
had one.
15, and it was just like, oh, I'm so cool. Like me and my friends, we go to like, my
Okay.
friend Carson, because I was like 15 at the time, and he was like 17, so he could like drive, and we'd like go to the gas station all the time, and we'd like get Monsters.
Get a Monster. It made you
we're
feel
like
it made you
edgy or
feel,
whatever,
yeah.
And
But you bought a fad.
Monster is crap. I will never drink another Monster for as long as I
Exactly.
live.
You were buying a fad.
I would feel like so bad. You ever like drink? I know that's where all that stuff come from. I have a Monster
see it.
Energy can collection down here,
see
but
that.
and I drank so much of it. You know how if you drink like a lot of soda, you get kind of like that bubbly feeling in your
yeah.
throat. It was like that, but like times 10. It sucked.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
We could have sent you to rehab for that.
I don't doubt it. I heard of a guy, he drank like the Monster Energy, a Red Bull, and like a NOS or something, and he had a heart attack or something like that.
doubt
So-
it.
And I'm not one of these people who's
Your
like,
body, your body can only take in so much. No different
Yeah.
than your body trying to take in. You can only take in so much protein at one time.
yeah. And I'm
So-
not one of these like Karens who's like, oh, Monster Energy's the devil, or if you want to drink it, like whatever. And I have had like went to work some days where I've been like just off of like 3 hours of sleep, and I drank a Monster and it helped me get it through. Get through.
Right,
And-
right.
But it sucks, and I hope I never drink another Monster for as long as I live. Yeah, it sucked. I remember one time me and my cousin, we stayed up all night one night, and the next day I was riding with my dad, and we had went to a gas station, and we bought Monsters, and I fell asleep in my dad's truck with a Monster in my hand, like from drinking it. So I must have been really sleepy.
But so the more you start learning into like cuisine and food, and you're gonna learn about what certain foods and certain things do to the body.
I got to take a nutrition class
Right.
at some point in school, and I've heard a lot of people say it's the most boring class ever, and they don't like it. No offense, Chef Davies, you're really cool. She's the teacher or the chef
Who
who
you
does
calling
it.
out? You gonna get a shot?
She taught sanitation. She's like really cool, but no offense, people say your class is crap.
Not crap, boring.
Yeah, boring. But
I
you
will
know,
fix him up. What was her name?
Chef Davies.
Chef Davies. Don't worry. I'll make sure that this kid understands the importance of your class.
And it's probably
It's
important.
extremely important. You have to understand fads. People buy fads, right?
Yeah, and the health
The
craze
hell-
is big.
Exactly. It's turned into a crazy fad. People want to buy into it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know anything about it, then you're not going to be a part of that fad. And then when you could have been, but for the right reason. So it's one thing to get into a business for the wrong reason. And one thing, if let's say I just had this business, and before all these crazy health fads came along, I was just selling healthy fruit smoothies because they tasted delicious, right?
Yeah.
And then the fad of the healthy kicked in, and then my business tripled.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta be on board with a lot of things, but nutrition is very important because now I was watching a quick little thing about they were studying people from a nursing home in California, I think, and they studied people over the age of 80 because nobody, or I can't remember what age, 75, it was up there. But like everybody studies the age from like being born until like you're 50, 60, and then they just kind of assume like if you don't do these things between this time frame, then when you get older you're going to die or it's going to shorten your life. Alcohol didn't make a difference. People who had and consumed wine daily, I mean these were some people who were in their early hundreds, 90s. they did this study about things like that. So if you don't know, then you don't know what to perceive. You don't know what to believe, or you don't know how to make your own opinion or your own thing on it if you don't have the knowledge of it. So take the nutrition thing serious, and I'm just saying.
I mean, it's a class, and it's about food.
Yeah, let's be honest. Dessert, there's not much nutrition in it. It's just good, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to put much of a focus in nutrition and dessert. Chocolate, triple chocolate, quadruple chocolate. Who cares? Chocolate, delicious. That's the result, right? But as far as like food and things like that, everybody, think about it. Your sister knows we sell a lot of salads. Now, when somebody decides to put 3 4-ounce cups of ranch on it, doesn't really make it that healthy, right? It's not my call, though. It's not my thing. That's up to the customer. Customer does what they want. If they're happy, I'm happy. You know?
Yeah.
But it's there. I know the benefits of it. I know why I have it on the menu. I love a salad. I love a salad with Greek dressing because I'm Greek. And I'm biased.
Some stereotypical type stuff there.
Oil.
What is it?
Well, here's a health
Is
benefit.
it oregano that Greeks like? Is that the
lemon, vinegar, oil, lots of olive oils, of course, oregano, garlic.
Yeah. I just remember Spiro at Westmore would like put oregano on everything or something like
everything. Fruit Loops, oregano. Why? Don't know. Greek. But here's a good thing about olive oil. If you take a teaspoon or tablespoon of olive oil every day, extra virgin olive oil every day, it coats your stomach lining, and I'm probably not going to use the right medical terminology, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Kills bacteria in your system, gives you energy. It's an amazing thing. It's very
olive oil?
Olive oil. Straight up. Take a shot. Bam. But if you don't know, you don't know.
My mom used to take us like a spoonful of apple cider vinegar every day.
That's also great for that. But why? You have to figure out if she's doing something like that. It's just knowledge, just learning. Why did she do that? Let's figure out some research. There's a lot of health benefits. And then there's going to be people out there who say it's a myth. But if it works for you, it works for you. I don't know. No 10 fingers are the same.
My dad takes a spoonful of honey each day.
It's delicious. That's a superfood.
I can't.
That's a proven superfood.
I don't like it when it's just a spoonful. And
honey's
when
also,
I'm sick,
what
like
else,
it helps.
What else can you use honey for? An adhesive. Sticky. When it dries, it sticks. Cuisine, food. If you need something to kind of stick together, use honey. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's so many things that you can potentially do. Honey's also good for your skin. Honey's delicious, superfood. Blueberries, cinnamon. Not only does it taste good, cinnamon's superfood. Now, is the cinnamon going to do me much justice in this cup of cappuccino? But it's delicious. But using it into cooking all kinds of different things, it's a superfood.
Yeah.
Just don't do the cinnamon challenge. You'll die.
I actually did that one time.
Why?
Because it wasn't the
But how
cinnamon
taught you
challenge. I was probably 10. A lot of the stories I'm telling is when I'm 10. Apparently, I was a messed up 10-year-old.
Did this happen right after you knocked the old man out in the ocean?
I don't know.
With the boogie board?
I don't know, but I don't know. I was probably 10, something like that. And I was, I would put cinnamon sugar on my, like sweet potatoes and stuff like that. And I was under that impression of, cinnamon's delicious, And I was like, I opened our pantry and I grabbed the cinnamon and I just poured a bunch in my mouth, and then spat it all out and had to get something to drink.
Went bad fast.
Yeah.
Did you choke?
I don't think I choked that bad. I didn't really swallow it.
The worst to do it with.
In the front of my mouth.
The worst to do it with is pre-workout. It's almost impossible. If you take pre-workout like for a gym and take a scoop and try to swallow it dry and choke, it's a whole nother. It's terrible.
What is pre-workout? Like, what is it?
Pre-workout is essentially a cup of coffee and a banana is what it is, and it's a fad. It's this powder. It's got 300. Some have more. Some have less milligrams of caffeine. Different types of vitamins. Whatever. To make you get pumped up. Not pumped up as in like you just got done working out, but like gives you the energy, the joy, and people become addicted to that quick sensation, and then they can't work out without it, which is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You get on, or it'll
Yeah.
make your skin tingle a little bit, make your heart beat a little bit. Well, you just ingested 300 milligrams of caffeine in 8 ounces of water that you sip down really quickly. Does it affect your body? Sure it does. If you, just like anything else, if you abuse it, it's going to hurt you. If I drink 14 of these cappuccinos back to back to back to back to back for a month, I'm sure I'm going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what pre-workout is. All it is a fad, to be honest with you. You can get kind of the same thing out of drinking a cup of coffee and eating a banana than you can pre-workout. And who really knows? Because it's not not all. I don't think any, to be honest with you. I don't know if they changed the laws, but they're not monitored by the FDA. So there's no telling what they really put in them. There's no telling. And people become dependent on, we're not going to use names, but let's take 2 individuals that work out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They won't go without it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they've become dependent on this. Can you not still go get the same outcome from the gym if you go in there and work hard, like we discussed earlier? Absolutely. Buy it into a fad, become dependent on it.
Mm-hmm.
Life.
It's Monster Energy. It was a fad. It was, we're 14. We're edgy.
We're cool.
I drink the Monster Energy cans. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Check out my room. Got them cans lined up.
Look at my assortment of Monster cans in different colors.
Yeah.
I have not seen one of these in a while, though.
Knee highs?
Yeah, those are really good.
I only like the grape ones. A lot of people like the peach ones. I don't like the peach ones.
But this will be worth something one day. Like,
probably.
Straight up. It will. Just is what it is. It is what it is. I did not see this. That's pretty cool.
That's a chia pet, but I never cared to plant it because it required a lot of work, and so I just use it as like a statue now, basically.
It works. It works. Oh, by the way, your brother did do the Rubik's Cube. 3 minutes.
I could do it faster, but that's remember when Casey had it? That's a really old one that barely even turns.
For everybody out there who hears this, do not bet Colby on a Rubik's Cube.
No, bet me on a Rubik's Cube. I can't do it. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
clearly not. He did. I know, they're kind of peeling off. How do you... Yeah, it is a Rubik's Cube. Rubik's. Anyhow, you got any other questions or anything for me? What you got?
So I guess
What would you want? Let me ask you another question. What did I fail you at?
What'd you fail me at? Nothing that I can think of.
Are you being nice or are you being honest?
Well, you gave me a fair shot, I do believe, and you treated me fairly. And to be honest, that's really all I really want from an employer.
Right.
I mean,
I've always
you've
been
gone
honest.
like above and beyond. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
not,
sure. But the biggest thing is what? The honest part, right?
Yeah, I just want like having like a fair shot is basically all I would want from somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not a minority or whatever. Whatever, you know what I mean? But
if there
I don't
was
know.
one trait that you would want to take from me, what would it be?
to take from you,
To progress in this profession.
I don't know, maybe like your attitude when it comes to stuff.
It's a good one.
Sometimes
I
like
give you, a lot of people say that. There's no. How do you stay so calm? How do you? There's no sense to get worked up. I don't think. Have I ever yelled at you? Did I ever yell at you? Maybe when
I'm
you was
trying
in,
to
maybe
think.
when you were in the office with a few others and y'all were fussing and I got ill because you guys couldn't be men and sit down and take care of your issue, so I had to intervene.
Yeah.
But like never once if you made a mistake or anything. No, you could tell.
Oh no,
you
for
could,
like a
you could tell
mistake or something like that.
You could tell I was upset or
Yeah.
something of that nature, but I never once made you feel less worthy about yourself for
Yeah.
making it.
I mean,
Right.
if it was something stupid like me and some other people fighting about something, but never like if it was like I messed up on something. You know what I mean?
But composure, that's a thing though.
Yeah.
Always being composed, because when that passion starts turning into more and more production,
Mm-hmm.
or the production, there's going to be nights where the production gets a little overwhelming, like we talked about. But keeping your composure
Yeah.
is something that's very essential in this, because if no different than when we were talking earlier about other employees trying to get under your skin because you're younger, or it makes them feel more superior, or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
Keeping your composure.
Mm-hmm. And I was talking about that with Josiah a few weeks ago. You know, there's really, I mean, there's the old classic French chef of screaming at everyone, you know, the bloody lamb's not cooked, or,
Right.
you know, whatever. And, you know, that was a thing. And now it just seems like that's kind of going.
Well, that's not a thing anymore. You get sued these days.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And it's not that popular anymore.
No.
You know, and
It was great for
it really-
television.
yeah, you know, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, it's great for television. Real
Yeah.
world, though, get out of here.
Yeah, and I've learned that when people start yelling in a kitchen,
Gets worse.
Something's up. You know, something's wrong. And it's not going smoothly. And when you're in a kitchen, everyone's got to be clicking. Everyone's got to be on the
Right.
same page.
Team.
And it's got to be a well-oiled machine if you want it to produce. So
Right.
when you have people yelling at everyone and stuff like that, it's not working properly just by,
Right.
you know what I mean?
100%. 100%.
And I've done it. You know, I've yelled at people, and you know, I feel like we all probably will at one point. And, you know, we all probably have at one point. You know,
But what separates? So if you do yell at somebody, what's your next action?
if I yell at someone, I'm pissed.
Well, sure, but
But
what's your
just
next
straight up.
action? What comes after that?
When I get mad, like when I'm in the kitchen,
Okay, we're working together. I made a mistake. You're pissed. You just yelled at me, and you don't at any point think like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry I yelled at you like
I
that."
probably will at some point.
Or are you going to be too proud to do it?
I think probably like after like the end of the night, I may
Well,
be
sure,
like,
just at some point.
Yeah.
Because if not, there's, ego is a real thing. If you can't swallow your pride sometimes, then
yeah.
you just your whole everybody's going to view you differently.
Mm-hmm.
Then you might become this character that you're really not. Then you might hate yourself later.
Mm-hmm. And when I get mad, though, I just work. Like, it puts me in a zone, and I just...
Working with music or without?
If you're in a kitchen that requires a lot of communication between two people...
No, your choice. If you're... Right now, we go upstairs, and we're going to cook something.
Just chilling.
Just chilling, yeah.
Like, prep
With or without?
work and, like, chilling and stuff like that. You can play music. It can
No, do you
be
prefer it,
chill.
though?
Yeah, in a certain situations. Yeah, totally. But if it's like a busy kitchen and
Right.
you got people needing to communicate, loud music in the kitchen, it's not really gonna help anything. And also, like at Carolina Fried Chicken, the boys would play music sometimes in the back, and it would get kind of loud, and you could hear it up front. You know what I mean? So in moderation. But I feel like, I was talking about
See,
this.
for them, that was their groove.
Yeah.
And it's amazing sometimes you see somebody there's a certain speed happening, then a certain song will come on, and then the speed just amplifies just because
Yeah.
and you're like, We'll put that sucker on repeat for a
Yeah,
few
and,
hours.
you know, I'll be chilling, like prepping something and kind of chilling, and then I'll play some like Lil Wayne or something and just pop with the rhythm.
He just
you
got
know?
a part in.
Yeah,
Baking or grilling?
baking or grilling. You talking like baking like bread and pastries, or using an oven?
Baking in general with an oven, or grilling out? What's your better choice? Which choice do you like more?
Anything in an oven, right? Or like
Anything.
specifically bread and
Chicken,
pastries. Stuff like that.
bread, pastry, fish.
For example, that Boston butt I got in the oven.
You didn't.
If it was up to me, I would throw that in the smoker. Correct? Being that it's such a crappy day outside, I'm not really going to go grab the smoker and throw it in there.
So which do you prefer?
Well,
Baking or grilling?
some things require some things. It's a lot easier
What
to
is
just.
required? What do you prefer to do? What do you like to do most? We're trying to do like a spitfire. Like
Is
bang,
it baking or grilling, or can it be other things? But just those two.
bang. No, just baking or grilling.
I don't know, grilling.
Spoon or fork?
Probably a fork.
Okay. See how this works? Bang bang.
You can eat more things with a
There you
fork.
go.
I'd try, well,
Prime rib or ribeye? I mean, they're both the same thing, but prepared differently. Which do you like better?
if it's good, probably prime rib.
If it's good. Okay. Been let down, huh?
Some, you know,
Loaded baked potato, plain baked potato.
probably loaded.
Okay. Fish or chicken?
Oh, chicken all day. I don't like fish.
No?
Well, some fish I'll eat, but I'm not a big fan of the salty fish taste.
I got you. You don't do coffee. There's going to be soft drinks all day long. Convenience or taking your time?
Probably
Like speed or chill?
in a restaurant or in general.
In general.
If it's something that,
Just quick. Bang.
well, if
Thinking
it's
too hard.
something that I
Speed or chill?
if it's
Speed
something
or
that
chill?
I'm comfortable
Speed or
with, I can
chill?
do it a million times over and over and
That's
over.
real quick. Speed or chill?
Than speed. But if it's something that
Speed or chill?
if it's something that I need to take my time in because it needs to be perfect, or I need to, it's maybe hard for me to do, then probably chill.
Okay.
And if we're just chilling, like I don't have a deadline or anything, then chill.
Teaching or learning?
Probably learning.
Okay.
Just because.
The reason why I'm asking these questions is because it's being recorded, and then in 15 years we're going to come back and I'm going to ask you these same questions and see if any of them have changed.
They probably will.
That's the whole point.
I've thought
That's
about.
why you're doing this whole like I gotta get in depth and tell me where you were last night at 5:03 p.m. and stuff. Just answer them, bang them off. Whatever comes to your mind, you feel comfortable with first. Spaghetti or lasagna?
Neither.
What?
I don't like either.
You gotta have a choice. You gotta pick one.
Lasagna.
Okay.
Because of the ricotta and the. There's more elements to it.
Ooh, I got a good one. Hash browns, home potatoes.
Which hash browns?
Stop. Just answer.
If I get like some Waffle House loaded hash browns.
Hash browns or the home fries or whatever they call them, home potatoes or home potatoes. What do you call them things? I can't even think
Like
of it.
potato wedges?
Not wedges, but you know, like you go in.
Like fried potatoes?
Yeah, like home potatoes or whatever they call home fries or something. Yeah. Take pick which one, hash browns or that?
Probably hash browns.
McDonald's or Wendy's?
Oh, McDonald's all days. I cannot stand Wendy's.
Huh?
I've heard their food is like kind of good, and they're kind of in a lot of people's minds they're like kind of the realest out of all the fast foods. But I don't like it. I don't like Wendy's.
Okay, I'm with you. Let's go. I'm just just messing with you.
KFC or Popeyes?
I couldn't tell you the last time I had KFC, and I've never had Popeyes in my life, so I can't answer that.
I got to say KFC, but that's just because I went to Popeyes one time, and it was in a food court in a mall. And I got my Popeyes, and I got like chicken tenders or something like that, and I asked for ranch. And the guy working the counter looks behind him and reaches in the cardboard box, and he hands me like 2 of them. I was like, all right. It didn't seem like he was 100% sure of what he was doing. And I was like, all right. I open it up. It is yellow liquid with
What
like
was it?
some stuff. It was ranch.
So it's not ranch. Ranch isn't yellow.
But I guess it went bad or something. It was like yellow liquid with like some stuff floating in it. I didn't try it. I threw it away. But
I'm sure one honey mustard or something.
it was like a little
It said
like
ranch on it.
yeah. It said
okay.
ranch, and
Yeah.
woof,
Can't be on that.
yeah. So ever since then, I mean, I didn't really have the chance to try Popeyes again, but just because of that, KFC,
Okay.
Chick-fil-A, or Zaxby's. That's a toughie.
That is a tough one, man. I'm gonna roll with Chick-fil-A just because they do breakfast and I like their
Yeah, that's
I
true.
like their chicken biscuits.
I feel like Chick-fil-A is more kind of
But Chick-fil-A, if you ever get a chicken biscuit and be like, can you add egg and cheese? They always like, huh? I was like, is that uncommon to put egg and cheese on a chicken biscuit?
I
You
don't
never
know.
heard of that before either? Have you ever had a chicken biscuit with egg and cheese on it? They
I
do it
don't
at
think so.
Bojangles too. I was like, can I have a chicken biscuit? Can you add egg and cheese to it, please? You mean you want a Cajun chicken biscuit with egg and cheese? I mean, yeah, I know what I mean. I'm a grown man. I understand. But why is that uncommon?
I don't know.
I feel like egg on anything tastes good. Burger, delicious. Put egg on bread, delicious. Put egg on a steak, delicious.
Steak and eggs.
That's what I'm saying. Tell me what egg does not go outside of like dessert and ice cream because that's nasty. But
Bread.
tastes delicious
bread
on
sandwich,
bread.
I'm
What are you
stupid.
talking about?
No, pasta. I cannot see an egg going on
Parmesan,
pasta.
egg wash. It's better. That's how it works. See what I'm saying? Boom. Sauces for seafood, things like that. It's made with eggs. Good on everything. You like mayonnaise?
No,
You don't?
no.
Excuse me. You like mustard?
Depends on what it's on.
So you're a mustard over mayonnaise.
Yeah, if I do like a barbecue sandwich with some
Baked chicken, fried chicken.
ooh, baked chicken, fried chicken. I feel like fried chicken's just the tried and true. Bread the chicken, fry it. You can season your bread or whatever, but I feel like with baked chicken, there's more things
You can do.
you can do with
Sure.
it because you can wrap it in bacon or whatever. So I'm just gonna go with baked chicken because of that.
I had another good one in my head. I just lost it.
Have you ever tried sushi?
Oh yeah, I love sushi.
I've never
It's
tried it.
delicious. I like it a lot. I really do. But I can't. There's some that I can eat without soy sauce, and that's the ones I like the most. When I got to put a bunch of soy sauce on it to give it something bitter, or have to use the whatever they call it, yum yum sauce or whatever that is. But it's good. It's a lot of different, so much different stuff. I was at a Red Bull not long ago before Christmas. We went in to sit down and eat, and it was actually Christmas Eve because I ain't done any Christmas shopping, so I went out Christmas Eve. And Red Bull was the only place really open. I wanted to sit down because I've been tired. So I go in, and I'm seeing on the menu, anytime it said crab, it had a K. So Krab, crab. I'm like, why did they spell? Is this like an Asian thing? I didn't know. That shows to show you how I never really go out. Anyhow, server comes. I'm like, hey man, why do y'all spell crab with a K? And he goes, imitation crab. I was like, oh. So since it's fake, we'll just spell it wrong. I don't know. It
I don't
creeped
know.
me out. Never seen it before in my life. Or maybe I haven't been that observant. I'm not quite too sure. But yeah, at least they were being honest about it.
Yeah.
That's what made me happy. I was like, oh, it's not real crab, so we're not gonna write crab. We're gonna write crab with a
Crab.
K. Yeah, I was shocked.
I went to China King in Robbins, which
Brave soul. You can cut that out if you want to. I don't care.
Well,
I've been. You have to understand how long I've been in Robbins, right? You
Yeah.
have to understand how many, and I don't know if they're all true. I just know what I've been told. I have never. I keep hitting this thing. Sorry. I have never. I can't say I have maybe twice in my life that, hey, go grab something different. Because when you eat at the same place every day, it gets old. I mean, it really does. Then you get to the point where you make your own concoctions and eat them all the time. Mm-hmm. So when you find yourself eating a burger, because you just need to get something in your stomach and it's convenient, we've touched on that a lot, that's when you know you got to switch it up. So maybe twice in my life. I mean, was it outstanding? No, but it did its job. But I've just heard so many different things.
Yeah. I don't think they practice good practices when it comes to cooking food, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh, wait, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm not gonna sit here and try to be racist or anything like that.
No,
but you know what I mean? Like I've walked in there and the health score it's been like 80 something. So.
That's
But that being said, I don't think I've ever had bad food there.
So it's probably just more so one of those things. And
It's,
that's probably
it's just always been like really tasty. Like,
all right.
and I got these dumplings last time I went.
Dumplings is just a good word.
They were like
You know?
really good.
I don't think anybody's ever said the word dumpling angry.
Dumpling.
No, it doesn't work. It's just a joyous word.
Dumpling.
Like, hey, my little dumpling. Or, you know,
Yeah.
dumplings. I don't know. I think it just brings joy.
They were really good though.
Get mad at somebody and call them a dumpling and see what happens.
You
It won't even flow.
stupid
They'll,
dumpling.
then they'll laugh at you. Or they'll start thinking about a dumpling going, it's a good word. Just saying.
My mama makes the best chicken and dumplings.
Around here, there's a lot of competition with chicken and dumplings.
You
There's
can't
a lot of
beat
good
it.
ones. There's a lot of good ones around here.
If you had my mama's, you wouldn't be talking.
We ever gonna have the chance?
You can come over. Well, we eat always Sunday at lunch, so
Save me a little bit. Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
I might.
I'll tear that dumpling up.
That's some good chicken and dumplings.
Diane taught me how to make dumplings from scratch.
It's just biscuits, right?
For the most part. You gotta add some lard. She uses like real
Lard.
lard. You know, buttermilk, self-rising flour. Kind of do what you want to, but then you gotta roll it out.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's a certain way that you have to cook it. You dump it in, and when the bubbles start coming up, you got to drop the other one right there. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like one of those things. I don't know. Then making your broth from the chicken. I don't know. I think it's chicken and dumplings is just one of those things that people got tired of messing with because it's not convenient. So that when people do have chicken and dumplings, it's a seller.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
You can never get away from I don't care where you live or what you do. You'll never get away from a good home cooked meal.
Yeah,
Right?
and Southern cooking is honestly becoming really popular because when people think of good cooking as far as like kind of
Home cooking.
fancier type stuff,
Oh, that's yeah.
like higher end type stuff, they think of, I mean, just different like types of food. They think of like French food or
Right.
like Italian food, like really not, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But Southern cooking's honestly becoming a big thing with that, you know, and
Absolutely.
it's
If you would have told me 15 years ago that chicken and waffles would have been a thing, I would have laughed. You know?
I don't think I've ever had chicken and waffles.
Delicious. Fried chicken and waffles. It's delicious. It's like dumpling. It's just good. You know?
Yeah.
There's some, but that's one of those things. That's one of those, you know, it's a protein yet crisp, but you know the salt and the seasoning with the chicken mixed in with the sweet of the, you know, mixes in your palate with the sweet of the waffle and the syrup. It's just a delicious thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, that's I'm sure it's 100 times where you've had something that's not necessarily tangy, but not sweet. And then right after ate something somewhat sweet, and you're like, wow, that's a good. It's because your palate's changing, you know.
Yeah.
And it hits it, and you go, whoa, hey, dumpling. And that's just kind of, I don't know. It's one of those things. I guess that's why it works so well. But I don't know. We got. I'm trying to think of the thing. What was it? Those burger places out. Is it out? Maybe it's down south. I don't know where it's.
Like In-N-Out?
What a burger.
Whataburger, yeah.
Whataburgers. I've never had one. Have you?
No.
About In-N-Out. I never had In-N-Out burger either.
Apparently, the people in California like worship In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
I've heard from some people.
Ooh, hot
Like-
dog or cheeseburger?
Oh, cheeseburger all day. I don't like hot dogs.
All day. Okay. My bad.
But I've heard from some people that In-N-Out's just like completely overrated and stupid because they just have like 3 things on their menu, and it's just like a burger and fries, but they put like In-N-Out sauce, which is just like ketchup and mayonnaise on their burger, but apparently it's the greatest thing ever to some
Sometimes less
Californians.
is more.
Yeah.
You know, I've tried to teach some people that. You know, what was it? One of them was trying to make a seasoning for the ground beef for a taco salad.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like dumping a bunch of stuff in a bowl. I'm like, doesn't have to be that much, you know. At some
Yeah.
point, you're not going to get with so much out of it. Keep it fairly simple, you know. Got to think there's vegetables in it. The tortilla that's been fried is going to bring off its own flavor, and then the salsa's got so many different flavors to it. You know, it's kind of, you know, how much of it are you really going to taste? You know, calm it down. Sometimes less is more.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of where it goes. But I don't know what I'm trying to think of a good final question because I got to start getting out of here. Have you set a goal? Like just not, it can be any goal, but one definite goal.
I told you a few years ago, if you remember, that my goal in life was to own a Lamborghini one day.
Well, that's a good goal.
Nah, but I mean,
But like something like, unless you hit the lottery, like that's, or unless I don't know, something happens to you and you sue somebody and get, you know, something
Yeah.
that doesn't come from hard work.
yeah.
Is only, have you set a goal at this point in your life that you have to do it?
I feel like eventually I'd like to have my own place.
Okay. Is that your goal?
I feel like once I do, though, I'll have a lot more in me. So I don't want to get my own place and then quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, you know, just chill. But I don't know. I mean, I'd like to be successful. No, everyone would like to be successful.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But
It's like it's a fad,
yeah. Yeah.
you know? It's a fad.
But, you know, I'm not going to make that my goal because people on YouTube doing ASMR are millionaires now. So, you know, but
yeah.
I don't know. Like,
You got to set a goal. That's all I'm saying. One goal that you know you can, that you have to set, you know, A, B, C. I've told you that 100 times. Don't go to B till you finish A. Don't go to C till you finish B, and then start all over, simplify. But, you know, if you don't have a goal today, make one.
I mean, I guess like my goal right now is to finish school and
Done. That's fine.
like try to learn as much as I can while I'm working.
That's fair.
I mean, I don't think I have a big goal of like in my life I'm going to do this as far as like
Okay. Yeah.
an accomplishment. You know what I mean?
When's the last time you failed at something?
Big or small?
Doesn't matter. Just a quick failure. Whatever. Anything.
I failed some rub for my Boston butt up there.
You did what?
For the rub,
Mm-hmm.
I was making it, and I don't have fresh garlic, so I was gonna use this canned garlic in, like, not a can, but like in a bottle,
Okay.
like a glass bottle. It was like
Right.
minced garlic,
Okay.
but it was like wet, and I tried to use it in a dry rub, and it just made like a paste, and it wasn't what I was going for, so
Sorry.
I had to restart. But yeah, that was a
Okay.
fail.
So understanding failure is important,
Yeah.
and failure can be defined however you want to define it.
Mm-hmm.
But you might set some goals and you might not reach them.
Yeah.
It all depends on what you use as fuel to your fire to keep either trying to reach it, or saying, you know what, that didn't work for me. I tried. Am I in a position to where I can continue to try, or is this something that I need to stop, leave behind me, and keep moving and grooving?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I mean, like, I'm kind of hesitant when it comes to say I'm going to do this, because I'm scared that I'm going to put all my effort into doing that. But at the same time, there could be an opportunity for me to do something else.
Right.
Like another opportunity for me.
That's right.
It could be a better opportunity, but since I'm there goes my Boston butt timer, so.
That's the timer?
Yep. So,
All right, so we're going to wrap this one
yeah,
up. Good.
but, I kind of feel like I'm just trying to be open-minded to everything and not
Absolutely.
put a ceiling on my head of eventually I'm going to be this. You know what I mean?
That's cool. That's good. I
So,
like that.
yeah.
Because, you're going to create some opportunities for yourself, and there's going to be
Yeah.
others who do create opportunities for you.
Yeah.
Timing is important. Sometimes it's going to come at a time in your life where it's just not good. And
Yeah.
you might have to make your decision based off a certain, or when timing and everything lines up, it's going to feel like $1 million.
Mm-hmm. And, I'm not going to say that I want to own my own restaurant at the age of 30. Because what if I'm 29 and someone that I know is like, hey, I'm in New York, I need a sous chef. You down?
That's when you got to make your decision.
And I don't want to be closed-minded to where I'm saying I'm going to open this restaurant and that's what I'm going to do. And there's nothing wrong with opening a restaurant, don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean?
As you get older and as you try, you'll see your strengths and weaknesses. You'll see your own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you whether you want to improve on your weaknesses, or it's up to you to just focus on utilizing your strength, however you see whatever.
Yeah.
And that might come to you and go, you know what? Or you might own your own restaurant, and then 10 years after owning it for a decade, you might go, I'm wore out.
Yeah.
I'd just much rather go work for somebody, let them know what I'm capable of, pay me for what I'm worth.
Yeah.
Make their life easier, make my life easier. And that might be your thing.
Yeah.
No 10 fingers are the same.
Yeah, and some people, I've talked to some people in this industry that they don't like owning a business. They just want to cook. That's just what they like to do. They like working for somebody, and they like getting paid, which, they'll head chef a place, and they'll basically have full control.
But understand that they're not entrepreneurs.
Of the kitchen and menu. But
an entrepreneur, and that is different. So understand, like, you got to, at some point, you'll see what road you want to go down.
Yeah.
I am and still continue to want to be an entrepreneur. Therefore, I know what needs to be sacrificed, and I know what more I have to do to get done. And it can't just be about the passion.
Yeah.
I have to turn it all into a production at some point. Just like the gym. The gym, I was very passionate about working out, changing my body, feeling good, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went, I can also make this production.
Yeah.
It's my mind has been wired that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I've enhanced wiring it that way.
Yeah.
Therefore, that's, you just got to find your road.
Yeah,
man.
and I'm young. I got the whole world ahead of me, so.
You'll be like 47, right?
Huh?
How old are you? 47?
48.
48.
So.
My bad. I was awful. I was trying to get
so I know the restaurant industry is going to be my career, whether it be head chef in a restaurant, owning multiple restaurants, whatever. I just know this is the industry that I'm going to get into. But as far as the specifics, I don't really know what I'm going to enjoy the most, and I don't know what I'm going to be the good at the most. So I'm just going wherever it takes me, you know?
There you go.
Yeah.
Go wherever it takes you, but also know where
Yeah.
you want to take yourself. That's all I
Yeah.
can say.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
But, you know, and then I feel like, you know, eventually, you know, I'll figure out what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, you know, what I like doing more, what I don't like doing more, the type of food I like to cook, type of food I feel like I'll be the best at, you know, and once I get to the model, or once I get to the point where I can shape a business model around that, whether it be my own place or working for someone else, then, you know, I'll follow it and see what best is going to fit me personally. So I'm not going to set the precedent where I need to be a business owner, or I need to be a head chef somewhere, or I need, you know what I mean? I would love to be both those things eventually, but I'm not going to set that precedent of I need to be this thing when 10 years down the road I could get a head chefing job, but I'm like, I kind of want to own my own business. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you know, who knows?
I'll tell you what. There's one thing that I know I want to be, and there's also one thing that I know you will want to be as well.
Mm-hmm.
Retired.
Yeah, probably.
Chilling. Retired. It's been a blast, bro. We'll do this
Yeah.
again later.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
You got to save this forever, because I am going to ask you in like 15 years the same questions.
Well, when the
see
Culinary
what
Cast episode like 2000 comes out, or probably not that much, but
2000, huh? However many you want it to be.
well, it's like once a week, so that'll 20 years, right? No, 40 years.
Repetition. Keep rolling with it.
Like 50.
There's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah. 40 years, right? Give or take, maybe a little less. I'm not good at math.
Call it 2 years at 100. Yeah, it's a long time. We'll be I might not be here.
In 40 years?
Might not, man.
Well,
I
episode.
gotta hit my goals. My goals is to get out of the not my physical health. I've let my physical health go. I haven't worked out in how long? How long has it been? Been a while. Y'all used to see me all the time going in and out of the gym, whatever. At least making the attempt.
Yeah.
Now my body just hurts when I drive past the gym. I'm just like, you know.
Yeah. And
I did go today.
how'd it feel?
To drop off sanitizer wipes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Then I left.
Well, the workout of picking up those sanitizer wipes and
It did.
dropping them off.
Almost hurt my shoulder.
Oh, there you go.
But you know.
But yeah, I'm trying to be as open-minded as possible when it comes to things. I'm trying to keep my brain as much of a sponge as I can.
That's it. If you get ripe, you fall off the tree.
Yeah.
And you're gone. You know? And I'm here for you always. You know that.
Yeah.
I got your back.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming. We'll do this again in 15 years. You can ask me the same questions. And
Deal.
yeah. All right. Well,
Deal.
thank you everyone for listening. This has kind of been a longer episode. It's almost like 2 hours now.
Is it
but
really?
yeah. So. But yeah, please rate us on iTunes. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment, share, you know. And yeah. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.